Conservative comedian's hilarious Ocasio-Cortez interview sparks outrage. If liberals were this smart, they'd be conservatives. Democratic socialist Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez might be the it girl of the leftist-leaning Democrats in American politics today, but her time in the spotlight is coming at a serious cost for anyone who thinks millennial liberals might have an answer to the Democrat Party's problems. And a spoof video making the rounds on Twitter created by conservative commentator and clearly funny comedian Beth Stuckey is showing up just how imbecilic Ocasio-Cortez, the Democrat nominee in New York's 14th congressional district, really is. Made up of footage from Ocasio-Cortez's disastrous interview on the new firing line hosted by Margaret Hoover, the interview features Stuckey posing a series of questions, interspersed with answers and partial answers that Ocasio-Cortez gave to Hoover. It's not in the least fair, or objectively true. But it is uproariously funny. And it emphasizes the essentially true point that, as anyone who watched the actual firing line interview knows, Ocasio-Cortez and her worshipful Democrat fans are woefully ignorant when it comes to the current state of the world, as its history and its future. Check it out here. At just over 2 minutes long, it could be the best thing you see today. Does it make Ocasio-Cortez look like an airhead? Of course it does. But as Ocasio-Cortez's July 13 interview with Hoover showed, the 28-year-old isn't the least bit prepared for a seat in Congress, much less acting in some kind of leadership role in a major American political party. That was the interview where Ocasio-Cortez referred to the Israeli occupation of Palestine. And when Hoover tried to pin her down on exactly what she meant by that, came back with a response that's likely to be legendary in American political history. Yeah, I think, I am not the expert on geopolitics on this issue, she said. Well, the Israel-Palestinian conflict is one of many issues the young Ocasio-Cortez hasn't had time to become an expert on. That hasn't stopped Democrats and independents like Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, or a besotted liberal media, from treating her like the great new hope of the Democrat Party. The Twitter responses to Stuckey's interview were an interesting mix, with some viewers getting the joke and the point of the piece, while others appeared to actually think it was an attempt to make people think the interview actually took place. And that meant liberal outrage. Fortunately, Stuckey wasn't backing down one bit. In a follow-up Twitter post, she made that absolutely clear. No one who follows current events could have thought Stuckey was seriously trying to be deceptive. And even those who don't follow the news would know just by watching it that the two women were not speaking to each other, that it was a spoof, in other words. Not the kinds of Borat deception liberals never complain about. While liberals get their jollies making anti-gay jokes about Donald Trump, a la Stephen Colbert, or simply using foul language to talk about Tyga Trump like Samantha Bee, conservatives can actually be funny while still making a political point. It takes brains, of course.